Hey there, Abiding fam, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Kelsey Lee, and today we're going to be doing another flip through in my Abiding Journal 2021. If you are new here, we have been documenting every day of 2021 together, and this so far is the result of 5 full months of daily journaling. So in today's video, we're going to be doing a flip through of all of my May entries here in my journal. And if you missed January through April, never fear, because I have a video for each of those months as well, which are all housed in this first insert here. So you can go back and watch all of my other flip throughs to get a peek into my journaling from the first 4 months of the year. And if you watched my April flip through, you will know that I finished the last insert on exactly April 30th, which means we are beginning May in a new insert, which is always very exciting. So I'm going to go ahead and take this second insert out of my beautiful documented journey cover. If you are curious about my journal cover, this is a traveler's notebook cover from Documented Journey. I absolutely love her journal covers and highly recommend them. And that is what I've been keeping my Abiding journal in for 2021. So for the entire year, I've been using the Moleskine Extra Large Kayak journals, which are my favorite for journaling. I talk about them in my 2021 journal lineup video, which I link in this playlist here that also houses all of my other chatty journal flip throughs. So that is a great playlist to start with if you are new here. And if you are new, I would really encourage you to consider subscribing, join the Abiding fam by hitting the subscribe button and of course the little notification bell so you know when new videos come out. If you are into journaling, then this is definitely the channel for you. So without further ado, let's jump right into these entries. So here we are with May 1st, and I love this entry. I really like the look of this kind of diagonal split of the page where I make a collage of sorts of all different ephemera and photos and stickers on one half, and then the other half on the diagonal is my journaling. And the thing that ties it together is having a little border around the side that I just do with really simple marker. I think that kind of ties it all together. And then there is a little sticker right in the corner at the bottom there to make the connection to the larger collage as well. And this entry really just documents a wonderful day in my hometown. I took myself to a local cafe called Farmhouse Kitchen, which is one of my favorite spots. They are all organic foods, like the freshest of foods possible. And so I got this delicious avocado toast with asparagus and balsamic on it. It was so good, and I had a latte, and I just did some work there at the cafe. And then when I got home, I was doing some painting, and I sat out on my parents' front porch and did some painting. I actually shared this in my Instagram stories. I do that a lot. If you are into kind of vlog style content and like to see what's happening in my personal life, I don't really share that much here on my YouTube channel, but I do share it more often in my Instagram stories. So if you like that kind of content and want to get to know me, the person behind the moving hands and the journaling a little bit better, then definitely check out my Instagram. It's at abiding_Kelsey Lee. So yeah, I had a lot of fun making that painting for a friend at church, and I actually ended up scanning the painting and made it available as a printable for my patrons as well. So if you like the painting a lot, that is available as an art print on my Patreon. Speaking of Patreon, the next day actually uses a few of my printables from Patreon that I create every month. I'll talk more about my printables and Patreon a little bit later in this video when I share with you my newest printables that I use in some later entries. But these ones were just from my Abiding Journal collection that I created back in January, or it actually I think might have been December in preparation for January. And on this day I did a journal with me live, and I have a whole playlist of all of my live journal with me's here on my channel as well that I'll put up in the cards if you enjoy those more in the moment journaling process videos where we really get to interact and you get to see start to finish my entire process. But I just used some of the washi tape and pens and different elements from that collection of printable stickers because they were perfect for documenting a live journal with me session. And then here, friends, you might notice is where we make a little bit of a transition in my abiding journal. So if you've been with me from the beginning, then you know that one of my goals for my abiding journal was to finish an entire insert, this first insert, with a page per day. So every single page in this journal insert captures one day in my life, and I was really excited to challenge myself to really just make every page focus on one day and build out days where maybe I didn't have as much to say, but still challenge myself to fill an entire page documenting those moments. So I achieved that in this first insert. Every single page captures one individual day for my first insert in my abiding journal. But I fell a little bit behind in my journaling, and to be honest, these pages are very large in the Moleskine Kayak extra large journal inserts, and it can be difficult at times to fill up an entire page, and sometimes it's just quicker to do a few days on one page because there's less space to fill up. And so that is what I did. Starting on May 3rd, I made the transition to not be so hard on myself to try and make every single page capture one day, and instead have started putting multiple days on one page again, like I've done in past journaling. So this page captures May 3rd through the 6th, and I just used my stencil and a metallic gel pen to do all of the dates, and then I used these fun stickers that have the days of the week, did that on every single day, and then put in the middle the month, which I thought was fun. And then I just created this kind of little circle of flowers, and I divided the page using some washi tape. And I really like how each of the little blocks for the days are their own entity, but as a whole page it works together because I used the same pens for each day, same stickers and feel. I kind of highlighted one part of the day using some hand lettering in a blue Fudenosuke pen, and so I thought that the page turned out really well. And this still allows me to capture every single day of my year. It just puts a little bit less pressure on me to journal in a specific way. And so let me take this moment to encourage you that you do not have to journal in any specific way. Journaling does not have to look one way. You can be creative in your journaling, or you cannot be creative in your journaling. You can use photos, you cannot use photos. You can do a page per day. You can put multiple days on one page. You can journal every day. You can journal just your weekends. All that to say that your journaling is yours and should reflect your life and your needs. And journaling does take time, and that time can be hard to find. It certainly is difficult for me to find at times. And so if there are ways to make it a little bit easier on yourself, definitely do those things. And also, if you fall a little bit behind in your journaling, don't feel like you have to catch up. Now, I personally enjoy my catch-up journaling sessions because I'll take, a Saturday morning and sit down and just do multiple days at one time, and that's my me time. But if you've fallen really behind and it's been a month since you've picked up your journal, don't feel like you have to do all of those days you've missed, but just start where you are. Pick up your journal again and journal about that day, because that will mean something wonderful to you 10 years from now and you won't even care about the month that is missing in your journaling. It won't matter at that time, but it will matter to you, and you will be happy that you started journaling again 10 years from now and have new memories in your journal to look back on. So that is my little motivation moment of this video. I'm gonna continue on now with showing you my entries. This next entry is very simple. I actually just used a piece of wrapping paper as my background and then put my photos over top and a few stickers and did my journaling. Saving wrapping paper from gifts you get is a great way to be sustainable in your journaling and to get free ephemera and content for your journaling. You don't have to spend any money on it. It's already given to you. You just have to be a little bit careful when you open your gift so that you can save it. And that is what this wrapping paper is from. And I actually have a whole video here on my channel showing you different items that you can save and reuse in your journaling. So I'll link that video up here. And then this entry actually documents a wedding that we went to, and I kept it very simple by just literally sticking the invitation to the wedding down on the page, and they had a very fancy invitation that opens up and has, of course, all of the information on it. And so I thought that would be fun to just be the centerpiece of the page with a few photos, and I chose to actually not do any journaling for this entry because I think that the photos and the invitations sort of speak for themselves. And so that is something to keep in mind as well, that you don't always have to use actual writing and words and journaling in creative journaling, because sometimes your photos or ephemera or a quote or whatever you're putting on the page might speak for itself and stand on its own. These next two entries are two of my favorites. May 9th was Mother's Day. It was also one of our friends' birthdays. And so Ben and his friends got together in the morning and did some fishing and had a really nice time. My favorite part of this page is the stamping that I did. I used my Allie Brown Mini Essentials stamps to do the date, and it's really hard to capture on the camera, but I also embossed them, which adds such a cool effect. The fish in particular is my favorite. I loved using the different colors, and then I hope that you can sort of see the shiny raised effect that embossing gives you. It's just a really fun element on the page. And then of course I just did a little bit of hand lettering to capture that it was a rainbow trout. And then I just did a little bit of journaling up here to capture the fact that it was Mother's Day. And then all of these stickers that you see are from the Jen Hadfield homemade hashtag sticker book from American Crafts, one of my favorites. And then this entry over here is very simple. We had the trout that Ben caught on this day for dinner, and so I just used some alpha stickers to write out fresh catch and put the photos down there at the bottom. And then these little elements are ones that I actually got from a paper that I picked up at a used craft store, so basically like a thrift store for crafting, and I've had that paper for so long and finally used it here in the journaling. And then this little flower is one of my printables that's available on Patreon. And then of course put the date on there with the stencil and hand lettering, and did my journaling with spacing in between, which I always like that look too. I love these pages side by side because of the colors. The orange and the blue just look so beautiful together, playing off of each other. I just really love the aesthetic of these pages and how they work together, and how this one is super clean and simple, lots of negative space, and then this one over here has a lot more filled out with the journaling and use of washi tape and other elements as well. So starting with Tuesday, this page is as easy as it looks. I had a little coffee sleeve from some coffee that I got on this day from one of my all-time favorite spots called Mean Cup. And so what I did is I just taped it onto the page just along these sides, and then left the top open to create a pocket. And then of course in that pocket is a little tag And on it, I put one of my other printables from our Tiny Little Pleasures collection that says London Fog Latte, because that is the drink of choice that I always get at Mean Cup. And I put it on this beautiful floral tag that has this gorgeous orange in the thread here, which of course picks up great on the Mean Cup sleeve that is orange. And then on the back, I just did my journaling. And then I wanted to play again with the orange in the date and used my Alpha stencil to write out Tuesday, and I basically just did this using a stamp and a baby wipe to put the color onto the baby wipe and then push it through the stencil to create that really beautiful effect. And it has kind of a cool blending effect because of the orange and then going into the yellow. The reason it looks like that is because I didn't actually have orange as a stamp color, but I did have yellow and red, so I actually combined the colors together and layered them on top of each other to create orange, and in some spots it turned out a little bit more red or a little bit more yellow, but I actually really love the way that it looks. And then over here is literally just washi tape borders on the top and bottom, some stickers, and again, you're seeing how I divided the page into 2 different days. So we have May 12th up here and then Thursday the 13th down here. And to separate them, I basically put this piece across the middle because this actually relates to both days, because part of my job in the working world is that I work with the Board of Trustees at a college, and on both of these days we had our virtual board meeting. So what I did is I get these trusteeship magazines for work, and so I basically just cut out this word from one of those magazines and stuck it on here, and it works out perfectly for documenting this time in my work life. Next up we have Friday, and I used a lot of washi tape to use up some space on this page as well. And then I have this awesome business card that you can't tell is a business card quite yet. So this is from Documented Journey. This is her gorgeous business card with her art on it. She's a fabulous artist. In addition to creating her wonderful journal covers, she creates stickers and all kinds of other items as well. And on this day, my new journal cover arrived from her for my little weekly planner. And so I wanted to document that by putting her business card on here because it's so beautiful. And I decided, because this side is gorgeous as well, that I didn't want to just tape it down and not get to appreciate this side too. So I decided to do my date on it and just make it a tip-in. And then put a little quote sticker underneath of that, and then my journaling is below. And then this entry over here is as simple can be, documenting the commencement ceremony that we attended. It was so wonderful to be able to have an in-person commencement. We somehow pulled it off, and our graduates were so happy, and it was just wonderful to see things coming back into some normalcy in that moment for their celebration. So I just put the little cover from the program on here, and then a photo or two, and put the date at the top, and did my journaling down the side here. So very easy page. On Sunday the 16th, we went to church, and I was working in the kids ministry because we were having them help us with some artwork for our gallery wall that we have in our church. And then afterwards, we ended up getting lunch with some friends. And so it was just a really nice time, and I used a bunch of good times, good feelings types of stickers. And then this one here is absolutely perfect. It says, "Calories don't count when you are having lunch with a friend." And so I just love the little collage that I created there of those wonderful moments, and then did some big hand lettering with my Tombow dual brush pen to do Sunday, and then the little stencil again for the date. And super fun page. And then of course right in the middle, so that it breaks up the journaling, on the top and bottom. And then over here is a fun way to document those days where you really don't have all that much to say. Maybe it's your work week and you're not really doing much except working and then maybe getting something for dinner or watching a show with your spouse, whatever it may be. So on this day, I just took these big journaling block stickers and put one down for each of the days, Monday through Wednesday, and then did the lettering using the same pen that I used over here. So that way it coordinated, because you guys know I like when the 2 pages coordinate, and then did the date above it. And I did kind of a fun little doodly leaf design around it. It doesn't really have anything to do with the days, but I just was having fun playing with some doodling, and I actually really like the way that it turned out. Here again is an entry where I split the page into 2 and did one day on the top and one day on the bottom. So on the 20th, I talked about how I made a baked ziti for a local barber that my husband goes to see, and he recently lost his wife, and his wife used to always make him home-cooked meals, and so we thought it would be nice to bless him with a home-cooked meal now that he is unfortunately living on his own after his wife's passing. So I made a ziti for him to take with him when he went to get his haircut, and so I just documented that. And I had this sticker that says, "If you think my hands are full, you should see my heart," because my heart was really full of joy in getting to share that with him. And then on the 21st, I finished the audiobook I was listening to, which is Know My Name by Chanel Miller. I highly, highly recommend this book. It is a memoir, and it is incredibly powerful. It does deal heavily with sexual assault, so if that is something that is difficult for you to hear about or discuss for whatever reason, then it may not be good for you, but I do think it's a really important thing for the majority of us to be aware of and to talk about and to make known how unfortunately prevalent this can be in our society. And it was just a really powerful read, and Chanel is a fantastic writer. Speaking as a writer myself, I was really blown away by her talent. I mean, her story, of course, is incredible, but I would read anything by her. Like, I would read her grocery list. She's such a good writer. So I really, really enjoyed that and do highly recommend it. So this page, if you have been following along on Instagram, you might already be aware of the fun hiding out on this page. So this entry documents a really fun day, really felt like the start of summer for us, of going kayaking with some friends, and then we had a fun little bonfire in the evening, and it was just a wonderful day. And I had this idea to make this page interactive by creating a little mechanism to make the kayak on the page move. And friends, I succeeded. So there's a little tab here on the page, and when you pull it, it moves the kayak up and down the river. So how fun is that? So yes, I did put probably more effort and work into this entry than was necessary, but I think that many of you will understand, because this is just fun, and I thought it was cool because of it being the river and the kayak to have that element of the kayak floating down the river. This was super, super fun to create and do, and I did film my creation of this page, which means there will be a journal with me coming pretty soon that shows you how you can create a mechanism like this in your own journal to create something that moves on your page as well. So whether that's a kayak moving down the river or something else, there's all kinds of different things I think that you could make move on your page and have a lot of fun with. So to do the background, I just used my Arteza metallic watercolors to get this great metallic look to the water, like the sunlight is glinting off of it. And then other than that, it's all photos and my printables. So for May, my patrons voted on a nature trail, get outside sort of theme. So I created these illustrations based on their suggestions, and I am in love with them. You guys know that I am a super outdoorsy girl. I love going on hikes and just being outside as much as possible. So I know that I personally am going to get a ton of use out of these. I already am, as you can see. So everything on this page, except for this little fire down here, is from the printable set. So you have this beautiful go outside sticker, you have the pine trees, like that one and this one. And then, of course, you cannot forget the little kayak or canoe that comes with the little paddles. And I decided to put the paddles on the little tab that you pull. I thought that was a fun addition up there. And then this really fun, super whimsical blue jay with the little leaves in its wings. So all of these are available on my Patreon. If you're not familiar with Patreon, essentially it's a way to support my channel and get bonus content. So when you join for either $2 or $6 a month, you get access to exclusive printables that you can download and print at home at any time, and then basically get tons of fun content and stickers to play with in your journaling. And then you also, if you're on the $6 tier, get access to exclusive videos. So I have tons of exclusive videos already there, and you get access to them immediately when you join. So lots more binge-worthy content over there. And then I put out a new one every single month. It means the absolute world to me and to my family, and I'm currently working towards my next goal of 100 patrons. And I would love your help to get there. So if you like the look of these printables, and there are lots of others that are available over there as well, then definitely check it out. The link is down below in my description box, and it's basically just patreon.com/abidingkelseylee. And then over here for this next day, you can see a few more of those printables. So all of these, the wildflowers, the pine tree again, these little flowers, and then the flowers in the boot, which is one of my favorites. And then this little quote by Toni Morrison, "At some point in life, the world's beauty becomes enough," is on there too. So for this day, I really just used the printables and then this photo of the little collage of the wildflowers that I saw on a hike we went on that day. And if you are curious how I print tiny photos for my journaling, I do have a video all about that on my Creative Journaling for Beginners playlist. So I will put that playlist up here, and you can find that video and watch it to learn more. On the 25th, I had a really wonderful day with my mom. I took off and we just spent the whole day together. We went to this new eatery called Bad Biscuit in my hometown, and it's really cool because it was actually founded by addicts who have since recovered and kind of restored their life, and they made this whole Bad Biscuit business based on helping recovering addicts, and they have kind of like a prison theme to the entire cafe. So you can see like the little handcuffs and then the food is served on like little prison trays. So it was a really cute little touches, and it's just a really cool story of how, you know, they've really turned their lives around. So that's a photo of my mom eating her wonderful food, and then on the back is just a nice little journaling card, "Live life in full bloom." And then I just created a little collage of the different things we did that day. We went to Lancaster Cupcakes, and so I had that great little card that says "Pretty as a Cupcake." And then we went to a nursery and got lots of flowers and went to At Home. So just had a really great day together. May 26th is our wedding anniversary. So this was 2 years of marriage. So I just used a bunch of stickers like "So happy together" and "You will forever be my always." And then this is actually a photo of the cupcakes that we got at Lancaster Cupcake the day before, because that's actually the same cupcake that we had at our wedding. So every year I try to get the cupcakes now so that we can have them again on our anniversary. And so that is just a photo that I cut out of the cupcake. And then, of course, did some lettering and talked about our day. It was a work day. Most of our celebrating came later on the weekend, so I'll talk about that in a little bit. And then for the 27th, I just put that down here at the bottom in a little box because it was just a work day, and so I just journaled about some work day things I was dealing with on this particular day and left it at that. And then on Friday, my mom actually came up to visit me at my home so that she could help me put together my little garden oasis on my deck, which if you follow me on Instagram, again, you see me talk about a lot because I just love my little garden out there. And I like to keep every year a few of the little pics that go in the flowers when you get them to just kind of document what flowers I got that year. So here are a few of the ones that I picked up. There we go, now it's gonna focus. And so I just love keeping these and being able to look back at what I got, and sometimes too it's helpful to remember what grew really well and which ones I just really thought were beautiful so I can get them again another year. And I just made a little pocket with a piece of paper and I rounded the bottoms. I thought that was a nice touch to make it look even more pocket-like. And then I just keep all of them in here. And then these stickers are really fun. I just made a whole little collage of the different gardening stickers. And then I also did some hand lettering for Friday. Those stickers also come with this little border sticker. And then at the bottom, I just did a little doodling of plants growing and wrote out vacation time because this Friday began my 2-week vacation that I'm currently on and just loving life. And yeah, so that's pretty much that day. These stickers, by the way, if you're interested, are from Planners Anonymous. So it's this sticker book. It's the one that has like the little gardening look to it. And then in the back is all of these more orange, yellow, bright colored stickers. So these are the ones that I used all on this page. And then on the 29th, we had our anniversary celebration. We went to this wonderful restaurant called Alfred's Victorian that's very fancy. And so we got a little dressed up and just enjoyed some really good food and quality time. And I just used these little square journaling cards that I had to document things like what we ate. So I put that on this So Special card and then journaled a little bit about the day on this Cherish card. And then otherwise kind of just let the other cards and the photos speak for themselves. And I also have my little movie stub ticket because before dinner we went to see A Quiet Place 2, which was so good. Really, really good film. And this was the first movie I've seen in theaters for over a year and a half. So, and Ben and I love going to the movies, so that was a pretty big deal for us to be able to go and see that together. And then the other little celebration thing that we did for our anniversary is we went to Indian Echo Caverns, which is basically just a cave that is pretty close to where we live that we had been saying for the last 2 years that we want to go to, and we finally did. So I just made a little collage of the photos from the cave, and then this at the top is just cut out from one of their little pamphlets. And so yeah, super beautiful cave, but very touristy. Not really my cup of tea to have really touristy things like that, but the cave was so beautiful that it was still worth it. And then for the journaling, I thought it would be fun to make a little journaling block, but then at the top and bottom make it like the stalactites, mites that they, you know, have in caves. So I did that at the top and then at the bottom as well. So I just thought that was a very interesting but very simple design choice to add to the page, and I thought it really added a little something. So that brings us to our last entry for May, and this was Memorial Day, of course, and we had a really lovely Memorial Day. So we got to go on a beautiful hike, and then we hung out with some friends afterwards and went fishing. So this just documents that day using some fun stickers from One Canoe 2, and then also my little printables again from the Go Outside collection. So a really wonderful day to wrap up May, and I'm really excited for all the days yet to be lived and the memories yet to be documented in June. So make sure that you're subscribed and are joining the Abiding fam so you are here when we finish June and come back together again for our next flip through. So those are all of my entries for May, and before we close out this video, I of course again want to share with you all of the entries from May that you, our wonderful Abiding fam, have been creating in your journals. So something really fun about my Abiding journal is that this isn't just a personal challenge for myself, but it's really a community of women documenting their lives and exploring their creativity together. And we share that with one another by using the hashtag MyAbidingJournal2021 over on Instagram, and also in our Facebook group that is linked down below as well. And so those are ways that you can be sharing your journal entries and your memories with us so that we can be inspired by your creativity as well. And every month I pick a few photos that have been shared using that hashtag here in our flip through video so that you can see others' creativity as well. So without further ado, let's take a look at your Abiding journals for May.
We just sing along, and I can't help but feeling, just loving this moment. Can we stay here forever? I'm loving this moment. Can we stay here together? If I could stop the time, don't you know that I would? 'Cause I'm just loving this moment.
I truly cannot tell you how much it means to me to see you all using that hashtag and sharing your journals with us. You inspire me so much, and I love getting to see your creativity and learning from you guys. It is an absolute joy. So please continue to use the hashtag MyAbidingJournal2021. And if you are new, I encourage you to start too. You are not too late to the game. You can join us in this journey at any point in time. We would love to have you. So that, friends, is the end of this video. I really hope that you enjoyed it and that it has inspired you. If it did, please do give it a thumbs up and join the Abiding fam by hitting the subscribe button. And if you're interested in any of the printables that I talked about and even more content from me, do check out my Patreon down below. I will look forward to seeing you all in the next one. And until then, keep exploring your abiding creativity and document a life abiding in faith, hope, and love.